Whether on-premise, hybrid or in the cloud, RCS gives broadcasters the tools and support to create, schedule, manage and deliver content with confidence. RCS is the trusted leader for audio professionals.
Today on the Quarter Hour, another Iron Chef radio moment. Same national topic affecting all Australians. Multiple radio stations all trying to serve up the same dish. So who are the true Iron Chefs of Australian radio? Let's find out. Hi and welcome to the Quarter Hour. I'm your host Liam Renton and today we are dissecting another Iron Chef radio moment. Last week, the whole country took part in the Census. So much content for Aussie radio to serve up. We can thank radio's Triana Butler for coining the phrase Iron Chef moments. When every radio station is given the exact same ingredients, it's when the heat's turned up in the radio kitchen that we see who the true Iron Chefs of radio are, as Triana explains.
I always describe it as being like Iron Chef radio. So I don't know if you've ever seen that TV show Iron Chef, but basically they have a bunch of different chefs. There's like the Chinese chef and the Japanese chef and the Italian chef and whoever it is. And they get given this mystery ingredient and they're like, surprise, off you go make something with it. Like everybody's got this same ingredient sitting in the middle. Everyone's got this same thing that everyone's got to work with. And it's like, okay, take that. How are you going to take that and change it and adapt it and make it relevant to you and to your own style, but also make sure that your audience is going to love it as well.
That's Triana Butler who gave us the term Iron Chef radio moments. So it was Census in Australia last week. It comes around every 5 years and Aussie radio were on a level playing field. So who served it up best? Let's have a look. Jace, Clint and Lauren in Melbourne actually took the test live on the air and gave us some real-life personal answers as they did parts of the Census live on their show.
Last week, how many hours did you work in your job? Lauren, you said 35. Clint, you said 24. Jace, you said 42.
Oh, you absolute bullshit artist.
Next question, how much time did you spend doing unpaid domestic work for your household? Clint, you said 2 hours. Jace, you said
2 hours a day.
2 hours per day. Jace said at least 4 hours a day every afternoon. Lauren left that one blank.
I didn't fill it out because it just can't be counted.
And
'cause that's on your cleaner's census.
Yeah, I'm keeping the economy going.
Very funny. 5AA Adelaide took a more serious approach in serving up their dish by tackling hard topics on the air.
Steve Martin is the campaign organiser of the Census No Religion campaign.
My head's about to explode.
I think, to paraphrase our text line, I think most people felt comfortable enough interpreting the question without needing anyone to explain.
Hearing that makes me want to pick a religion and put it down now. I was
Completely.
It makes you go, don't tell me what to do. And even if you are somewhat sympathetic to putting down a no religion, hearing that makes most people go, don't tell me what to do. I will put down whatever I want to put down. And just to spite you, I'm going to find a religion to choose.
As did Vision Radio, who had Mark McCrindle on explaining how the census could affect their listening audience.
Is it a yes-no question, or do we actually have to write a response?
You do have to tick a box, and it's ordered in terms of the most common responses. So the first option people will see on the multi-choice there is no religion. And then you've got some of the Christian denominations there, Catholic and Anglican. But there's not actually a single box that says Christianity, because it's not that Australians have stopped believing. It's just that we're not filling that question in perhaps the way that it's intended for it to be completed.
They also did a song parody.
Census, it's the census. It's only once in every 5 years to do. Census, it's the census. Count the people, rooms and all the crew. When you get to the religion question, choose the one that matches up with you.
When you do the census, they'll know everything about you. What you make and do, tell them you're Christian too. Wilma, get me that census form.
We love a good song parody, and Nova was no different. Ricky Lee and Tim Blackwell served this up.
I'm bringing census back. Yeah! Misinformation, don't know how to act. Yeah! I think it's special what finding Aussie stats. Count every person, gotta be exact.
Yeah! Take him to the bridge!
Data babe. You see these spreadsheets, that's the stats I crave. 11 August, I won't misbehave. But census night just makes me feel this way.
Take him to the chorus.
While over on the Christian O'Connell show, they took a more light-hearted approach and did their own version of the census with the senseless census. That's tough to say.
Before Australia counts tonight, this morning we're going to count the stuff that actually matters for the first time ever. 7 questions, 1 every 30 minutes. Starting now. This is the information future generations deserve. Please answer honestly. Your question is important to us. Your country is counting on you. Australia, I need your answer right now.
And Hot Tomato on the Gold Coast threw the government questions out the window and asked the questions most people actually wanted to know the answer to.
But we want to ask other stuff. So this is the stuff we really want to know. Like, do you put your trolley back? And if you don't, you're not allowed to vote.
I feel strongly about that.
Yeah,
Put your
yeah.
bloody trolley back.
Yeah.
The amount of times that you have to go, you finally find a car park,
And there's a
you go
trolley
to
in
pull
it.
in, and then you see the trolley, and you go, "Are you kidding?"
Yeah.
You have to
Rude.
get out.
Yeah. Is that a census question?
And Emily-Jade from Hot Tomato joins us now. Thank you for joining us. How are you?
My pleasure.
How much thought went into covering the census on your brekkie show?
Look, not a lot. I'm not even going to lie, but you were saying to me off air that this is about the truth behind radio. We basically had actually planned our whole show for the next day and completely forgot about it. We forgot about the census. We'd done some breaks, the day before, like don't forget the census, but we'd actually forgot to put it on the planning board. And then our boss, Whippy, Brendan, he texted us in the afternoon and said, "Hey guys, I've just noticed on the run sheet there's nothing for the census. What are you going to do?" And then he told us what Christian O'Connell was doing. And obviously in our network, everyone shares their information. He's like, "Oh, I think Christian O'Connell's doing like the senseless census or something." And just, silly questions. So we went, well, that's a good idea. How about we do that? So all I thought of was all of the easiest phone topics we've ever done. And then thought, now how do I pretend that's a census? So we ended up running the theme through the whole show. And every half hour, we just ask new questions. So this should be on the census. How many unopened emails do you have? Because we knew that had worked before as a great phone topic and the phones go crazy. So we did that. And then the next hour, a few more. And then we threw ones out with the listeners. What else do you wish the census was actually asking us? And then we ended up throwing the whole show over to it. And I love doing that because it takes the listeners on a full journey for the whole show. And we put one question to bed. We're like, righto, such and such has got the most amount of unopened emails. Liz from Pimpamar, she's won that. In half an hour, we'll launch another senseless question. And so I think one of them was like, do you fill up as soon as the petrol light comes on, or do you hang on until the dear end? And then we had a winner of that question, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, so how did you find those questions? You said it was from phoners that had worked. Now, did you just remember it? Was it you and Gailey bouncing those ideas on a whiteboard? Did you have to look up old questions of phoners that had worked before? How did you come up with those 6 or 7 questions that you used?
Yeah, a bit of everything. So I just thought about dumb questions. I went to ChatGPT, not going to lie. What are some dumb questions that people ask? Then when we were, opening up the phones, other people were ringing in and going, you should ask this, like, what's for dinner tonight? What's everyone cooking for dinner tonight? That's what I really want to know. And so then we threaded those sorts of things too. So it was a collaborative effort between AI, our brains, things we know work, and listeners.
Oh, some of the questions you asked I loved, like how many streaming services do you have? And imagine if they had have asked what's for dinner, and all of a sudden we know that the pizza on that random night was the most eaten food around Australia. That's interesting.
Well, the next day we carried it on. It was a 3-day affair, this bloody census, because, we had the day of, then the day before, and then the day of, and then the day after. And the day after, we opened up the phones again. And the question was, how many arguments did the census cause in your house? And then we asked, and what should that, now that everyone has done it, what should the government want to know about Australia? And there were the serious people saying we should have been asked what our grocery bills are. They need to know how much it costs for us to live. They need to know how much petrol is costing us, and how much we're spending on bills, etc. But then there were other people saying the questions that they should have asked were, funnier ones, and the fights that were caused by how much housework does everybody do in the house? And are we divorced? Are we separated? Are we together? All that kind of stuff.
You mentioned some keywords there that really piqued my interest about the show. So you talked about rundowns, you talked about your content director checking it. How does the show work? How far in advance do you work? Do you just have a whiteboard? Is it a spreadsheet? Tell us how your Brekkie show runs.
We have a whiteboard and we have our regular, benchmarks on there. And then right pretty much as soon as one show finishes, we're doing the next show. We take a quick break and then we come back, and straight up on the board is, all of the things that we have to service, the client things. And then, we've got a bit of a system of where the phones sit and where the individual stories sit. And we chuck them all up on the board. We've been together for such a long time. I've been, at Hot Tomato for nearly 15 years. Gailey and I have been together, I think it's our 8th year. So you do tend to just get on with things and get things done quickly. We trust each other. We don't debate too many things. If I say, I'm going to talk about, winning the tug of war at my kids' school and not realizing all the other parents let their kids win, my co-hosts just go, yep, we trust that's going to be a good story. They won't go, oh, is it good enough or blah, blah, blah. We just trust each other. And so we just throw stuff on the board. However, I guess what's interesting is we then go and live our day, and the next morning we ask ourselves, what's happened overnight that is not on the board? How can we flip it? What's completely local? What can we replace with local? We always ask that question. Okay, this is a topic that's about Trump. Is there something more local we could be talking about, because our edge in the market is being local?
Were you aware of what any other radio station in market or out was doing with the census on that day?
No, other than our boss Whippy saying Christian O'Connell's done this, and I personally love Christian O'Connell's show and I love what he does, and I listen to him a lot for ideas. One thing we've done that Christian has done, and I used to do it in regional days, like real regional days, not Gold Coast, but like back in my Tassie and Toowoomba days, and that used to be run one topic through the whole show. And I'd stopped doing that over, a period of time, different program directors telling you what they want, and you kind of fall into step with what they want. And then when Christian came in the market and I started really keenly listening and I heard him do that whole topic throughout the whole show, I was like, oh, I remember that. Those were good days, because people listen at different times. But also, if they are listening the whole time and they're too shy to recall in the beginning, or they're still formulating their thought on the topic, it gives them the opportunity to call, an hour later, rather than, in that half-hour break that you often have to get the calls recorded and on, or live and on. And so, that's why I was like, well, if Christian's done this senseless census and he's probably doing it throughout the whole show, why shouldn't we? So we do that a little bit now, run one topic throughout the whole show.
Yeah, good idea. When most stations do X, do you deliberately try and do Y, or you just run your own race?
No, completely run our own race. Very rarely. I don't listen to the other shows because I'm on air. So it's not because I'm being arrogant. I'm not on air and I don't have access to flash log or anything in our building. I'm very low tech at Hot Tomato. I sit on the other side of the desk. I don't even have a desk, a computer space. I just have my microphone. And so I really absolutely have no idea what other shows are doing. The only time I know when other shows are doing is if I go back and listen to a podcast of what they're doing. And I very rarely do that either, and it's for no reason other than I'm busy. As soon as I leave work, I'm into family life and doing the kids and recording my own podcast and organizing my own charity events and emceeing and cooking and cleaning. So it's just simply, I think after 30 years in radio, I don't really care what everyone else is doing. I'm just going to keep doing me.
It was fun. We enjoyed listening to what everyone did, and it was nice that people were just serving it up differently. We love what you did at Hot Tomato, and we'd love to have you back on the show anytime. So, EJ, thank you for joining us on the Quarter Hour.
No, my pleasure, and thank you so much. And I'm here for you anytime, Liam. You're one of the good ones. I love you.
And I know you're a big fan of Wadio. Do you want to say hi to him, because he listens
Yes.
back to the shows that he's not on?
Oh my God, I love Wade so much. He knows. When he left Nova, I sobbed like I had broken an arm or something. I couldn't believe that he was leaving Nova Brisbane to go on to do bigger and better things. I didn't know what I was going to do without him. I've never cried as much over a staff member leaving as I did when Wayne Kingsley left, and I'll never forget it.
He'll love that. We're coming back in a second. Don't go anywhere.
Great technology is only as powerful as the people using it. RCS Academy offers self-paced online training and certification across Zeta, G-Selector and Acquirer. So whether you're developing new skills, training your team, or looking to get more from your RCS products, RCS Academy provides practical, industry-focused learning that you can complete at your own pace. To learn more, contact RCS today.
So yet another Iron Chef Radio moment. Same ingredients, different ways to serve it up. And the winner is our listeners who had a great meal of entree, main and dessert-sized content to choose from. And well done for the creativity from every station, trying something different, keeping it spicy, adding flavour and doing a great job. Gee, we love our job. How good is radio? More Iron Chef Radio moments to dissect in future eps. Thank you for joining us today on the Quarter Hour Podcast.
Go get wild. Okay.
Get your senses on.
Get your senses on.